Welcome, Sketchbook Heroes and Sketchbook Warriors. We've got quite a battle tonight. Let's share our drawings. Ooh, I'm already sharing. I thought I was doing my close-up, but there we go. All right, so we're going to be doing, we've got love in the air. We've got all these other drawings. Good to do cartoons. You can see the two different characters here telling a story. Here's a drawing of a bird. We got this. We got some student work that was turned in. Oh, got that elephant. I really like that frog. And here we have student work that was turned in by one of our students here tonight. Now, this is a really nice piece. We're going to do this one. This one's form. This is form. We're going to get into form. So, and some faces tonight. And here, ooh, Kim Jung-ji, Korean, South Korean comic book artist, great sense of space. So this is somebody did a cartoon of him. And that's it. Those are the ones that were submitted. Actually, why don't we start off with this? Let's start off with a little love. So this one's interesting. We're going to break this one down. Let's break it down. I can see a square right in here from the V to the L. We're always looking for squares, This really helps and get our proportions in. You can see that square, and I just eyeballed it. I can see that's kind of like right in there. That kind of will get us started. And using that square, seeing that space, I can see that's the same space like right in here for our triangle, or even there. Look at that. So that we can start off with that. And I can copy paste that. Let's copy paste, Control C, Control V. That really helps. And the more you do it, the less you have to do it. It's kind of ironic. It's just practice. It's just practicing. You just don't have to, it's just like, okay, I can see the space. But there we go. Actually, that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and paste that in the chat. And if you're watching, you can copy paste or just, I don't know. Oh, you know what you can do? If you're watching this on YouTube, you can open up another tab. You can freeze this and open the video up in another tab. Whoa, that's my granddaughter. Open the video in another tab so you can follow along. All right, here we go. Let's see. Oh, it's chat. Throw it in the chat. Screenshot. Yeah, there we go. There it is. Now it's in the chat. All right, let's stop sharing and let's get drawing. Oh, did I post it? Uh-oh, where is it gone? Oh. Oh, my granddaughter. Oh, where'd it go? I thought uh-oh, I'm gonna have to do it again. No, I can't. Well, we'll just go ahead and do it. Sorry, we lost it. I lost it. I don't know, for some reason it disappeared. All right, let's just do this. Oh, that was really bizarre. Maybe because I stopped sharing, and I don't know. That was really weird. All right, here we go. So I remember the square. So we start off with that square. Well, two squares. We got two squares. And this helps with our spacing. That's what one of the biggest challenges to drawing is seeing the space. And space is squares is good to see space because we know it has the same height, same width. That's our ratio. There's a square there, and I think pretty sure there was another square kind of space about the same size below it. Let's see, right in there. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is just to help us get it going. So I had that to the V, the LO. So I'm going to sketch it in just once I have that square there. That really helps get it going. So I know there's an O shape in here, that O-shaped balloon. I have that square just started there, and I can see how it relates to that O. O pops up like right in the middle there, and it's not so ovally. So I'm going to take off some of that oval top and oval bottom. And I'm sketching it in. Yeah, there's art teachers that say, watch out for the sketching. Yeah, once you have your sketch, then you can really work on that solid line. See, like this solid line, really solid line. These are balloons, so there's a little bit of overlap here with this L. I'm watching that space between there. This L here kind of drops down to this. And let's take a look. Yeah, it's that O is the balloon up there. This shape down here, this V shape right in there. Just slight, is there slight angle? It looks almost vertical. Yeah, it's pretty close to vertical. I'm putting an angle on it. This part of the V is almost vertical. And then this side goes out at an angle from that square. So the V goes outside of the square. And the bottom is a little bit lower than the L. Looking at all these little relationships, I can bring up the L up a little higher, but these are the things that I look for to try to shoot for accuracy. The relationship of all these things as they go together. This was submitted by Ellen. Ellen, thank you, Ellen. She still submits stuff, but she doesn't join us because, yeah, she's got things she's dealing with. So you're in our thoughts. Thank you for submitting work, submitting drawings to do. I think she does them on her own, hopefully. But these angles, notice these angles. Oh, there we go. There's the LO. All we need is love. That was the theme of last week, I think. But notice the angles and really rounded shapes, really rounded shapes. And there's overlapping here. Ooh, overlapping, the artist created overlapping. So the E goes behind that V and it goes up a little higher than I can see the relationships, a little higher than the L and the V. So it goes up in here, up a little higher, not as high as the O. And it's right in there. I can see how wide it is. Right about there. Then a little bubble there. Got to get the bottom. Let's get to the bottom of this. E right in here. Almost to the, it's a little bit higher than the V. Right in there. Getting the top and the bottom kind of helps us center the middle. So that's what I'm doing here. A little, it's rounded shape right in there. A simple drawing. Not too shabby, but you can see how that square, seeing that square in there really helps kind of get it going. And then seeing that square there kind of helps see how long these how long the strings are to the balloons here. We're going to make them look more like balloons. I can see this triangle here, this triangle, these angles here. This is what's more important, this triangle here. Then I can get it a little more accurate, but getting the height and the width, and then there's two more strings right in there. And then they come together right around here, and then come down here. And I just scribbled it in just to get it in. Now I'm going to go a little bit darker. Let's zoom in so we can get that detail. I'm going to zoom into the top. Let's zoom in and just kind of everything's kind of blocked in. Now we can do these cleanup lines. We can use a marker if we wanted to, and then let's go left to right. I kind of like the way it is. Let's do the circle in here. Looks like there's almost a circle. A little bit of an oval. There it is. Yeah, we do need more. Love is the answer. That's the other song that was kind of like the Beatles song. Actually, both of them are. Love is the answer. I know that, and you know that for sure. All right, so here this bottom part of the out is rounded, and bubble letters is a good way to go to start getting form and shapes, because you can start drawing from stick figures and then start seeing shapes and start seeing form. And bubble letters is a good way to go to practice. You can even do some research for bubble letters. And these are bubble balloon letters. You can see how that overlaps right in there. Get that rounded shape. And then there's like a little bit of a reflection or insinuation that it's a balloon reflection or something. There we go, there. And then on this side as well. One there, and then another one there. Let's get the O in there. Let's get it a little more rounded. I'm trying to see how they're touching here. So I'm actually going to go a little more rounded. Let's get a little more rounded. Ooh, I see what I have and see where I'm going. I feel like there's something underneath. Making sure a little bump there. Making sure my paper's in good condition here. I'm trying to get a solid line. There we go. There we go. A little wider. There it is. There's a little darker, a nice strong edge. There it is. Get that center. And then the reflection line. There's one on this left side, right in there, and it goes parallel. It goes parallel. It echoes the outside of that circle, and then it comes down here, and then there's a little gap, and then it comes down here. Looks like a donut. There it goes. That's it. That's pretty close. Then here with the V, there is also some overlapping. That V overlaps right in there. And they should be touching it right in here. I kind of, I'm scooting it over just slightly, kind of get it a little closer to the drawing. There we go. There's the V. Artists create space with overlapping. So there's little tricks that artists use. And here's one of them, it's overlapping. This overlaps itself. So this is behind and this is in front. The paper's flat, it's two-dimensional, but artists use these little tricks. Cameras actually, or discovered them, because cameras do it too. They use overlapping. I call it space pods. P, which is placement. Things that are lower are closer to you. Things that are higher are further away. Usually, this is kind of like facing us. But if it's on a plane, things that are lower, even if just a little bit lower, are closer. And then as things go up, they get further back. That's placement. Then you have O for overlapping, just like right in here. Space pods. O overlapping. And then detail and dissonance for the D. So things that are closer have more detail. And things that are a little distant, they have dissonance. They turn usually the sky color. Like that's why you see mountains kind of like bluish. But sometimes, well, most of the time, just even things that are a little further, you get a little more of that dissonance. All right, I'm getting that E, trying to get it sharp edges as I go around and trace almost my sketch. There's that top and then this top. And then we've got some overlapping with this bottom E. All right, we're almost done. Drawings are getting a little more challenging. I think, oh, we got a cartoon coming up next, which is not too bad. That cartoon, I'm gonna go pretty quickly with that cartoon. All right, let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna see the curves on these strings here. Oh, I'm gonna have to probably move it up. That doesn't look too bad. Oh, we're missing this little reflection line down here. Right in there. And if I wanted to, I can ink that in and you get it even sharper lines and a nicer, she's laughing, a nicer edge to it. All right. Ooh, that looks good. Here we go. Let's do this. I can see the way this curves. You got to see how it curves. Ha ha. Hello, my love. All right, here we go. So, so there's a little bit of curve here. Got to watch the curves. See the way this curves this way, and then it curves the other way. So it's this S curve, right? I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I can see this curve here and then that way. And then it attaches itself here. There's slightly a bit of that curve as well as it comes in and then out and then down. Then here, another one, this one's slight as well. The one that's more exaggerated is the O. This has a little bit of a slight S curve as well. Goes in and then out. And then this one is, oh, this one's just almost kind of like a curve. Oh, you go, oh, this is probably coming off almost the center. Yeah, that's pretty good right there. And you can see it's all really sketched it in light at first, and then I'm going to go darker right now once I feel it's right. The bottom little tail is also an S. It goes in, then out, and then in, and then almost straight a little bit. And I'm exaggerating. Hear that S. It's not this exaggerated, but I am exaggerating a little bit so you can see the way it curves. There we go. Let's get all these lines in here now. A little bit darker. Get it solid line. This one. Get it to flow. Get it to flow. Fight the resistance. Get the lines to just flow. Yeah, sometimes we get resistance. We're like, you want it to go a certain way, and yeah, Yep, yep, yep. And sometimes we come across resistance and we stop, we quit. You get the cants in the pants. There we go. There's a little bit of LOVE. All right, let's get to our next picture. I don't know what happened, why it didn't go in there. All right, this one's I see the bigger shape here. This one's almost like the letter uh triangle shape. The big one. Let's see. I can see this like right in here. That's not a straight line. Yeah, but I can see this up in here. There's a little bit of a curve here, but I can straighten it out and see this. This really helps. This has a nice little S curve in it, but you want to see this big shape here. You can also see that. Uh, he, I don't know why he's got a sad face. It looks like he went to the grocery store and then she's all happy. There's more to this. Oh yeah, there's a punchline up on top. I don't know what it says. I'm sure it says something. You can make up your own punchline. Let's see, what else are we going to look for here? Yeah, I'm going to do this one pretty quickly. The hardest part, I think, is getting the the thickness, the ratios. So let me see. Let's get some squares on here. You can draw at your own pace. You don't have to follow me. But the thing, see, there it is. There's a square right there. That's a good square. The height and the width. See, look at that. That's a perfect square on his head. Let's move it around. I can copy it. Let's copy it. Select it, copy, paste, move it around. There it is. She's got the same, her nose is probably a little bit longer. You can see how that relates. Let's put another one of those squares. All these squares are the same. I'm looking for these squares. See, you can do this with a pencil. See, like I can get my pencil and say, okay, I can see the height of the head and use that as a unit. And his bodies there's another square right there. And then another square down here. He's almost 3 heads tall, a little bit less than 3 heads tall. He's a little bit wider. She's a little thinner. Let's put another square in here. I'm looking for these relationships, and I'm using his head as a unit. I can see the spacing in between. Look at that space between the two is a square space as well. So I use that as a unit, and I'm looking around, and I'm seeing all this. All right, there we go. Why don't we go ahead and put that there. Put it over here. Let's put it right. Let's add another one. Why not? Here we go. And it comes in. All right, let's do this. Here we go. Let's see if it works. Now I'm gonna put it in the chat before I lose anybody, before I lose the drawing. So here's the chat. All right. Oh, make sure it goes to everyone. There we go. Yeah, because when I get messages, there we go. All right, here we go. There, now it worked. Last one didn't work. All right, here we go. Let's do this. Stop sharing. I'm gonna go pretty quick. Let's go. Let's do this. Here we go. Ooh. I'm gonna do it with a ballpoint pen. I do see these angles. The angles kind of get the big shape of how they kind of fit. And I'm scribbling it in. You can do it a lot cleaner, but just the thing is just to do it. All right. And then again, the heads, I can break this into thirds, just this whole big shape into thirds. And see how wide it is compared to how tall it is. Kind of see this big shape here. It's almost it's a little bit, it's not quite a square. But yeah, there it is. I can see how it's all going to fit. I broke it into thirds. So the head's going to be like right in here. That's his head. And then the second part. And then the third part. And then she's going to be in here. Same thing with about the same square space. And she's going to be in here. See, I'm just blocking things in. Again, you do this just at first. And then once you kind of see where everything's at, the less you have to do it. I can kind of see this whole head kind of going back. It's the nose that really sticks out. And again, she's got a bigger nose than he does a little bit. We got the square as our unit here. And there we go. There's our spacing. Spacing is looks pretty good now. Everything's kind of like where it goes. I think, yeah, I'll do her first. He does have more of I can hear now, he's got a little bit more of an S curve. He does curve out and then curve in. So I can see that, that flow of this whole shape. See this whole S shape, this shape in here of his whole body in there. And that's scribbled in, not too shabby. There it is. All right. So this is going to be my underdrawing. I can actually get another sheet of paper if I would have done this with a marker, darker. Hey, buenos dias. That was last week's drawing. Well, when did we do that one? I'm doing it on old drawings. Nah, it's all good. Yeah, let's see if it's, or tracing paper. Can we see through that? No, we can't see through that. It's all good. Let's just go ahead and do it with marker. All right, see how brave I feel. I can already see where everything kind of goes. And I can do the eye. The eye fits right in here. And it's this oval shape. Right in there. Right in there. What I like about this is it's like a puzzle. You're looking at all the shapes and see how they all fit. We got quite a few people tonight, 29, 30, 30. We got 30 people here tonight. Awesome. 60 people signed up. So yeah, it's actually what happens. If we get 50 people sign up, 20 people show up. Tonight we had 60 people show up, so 60 people sign up. So we got 30. Awesome. Again, just practice, practice, practice. Nothing really beats practice, you know. But what you practice, well, we got our warm-ups. What you look for, we look for, if you're brand new, we look for big shapes first, then smaller shapes, medium-sized shapes. Well, I call them the Papa shapes, the big Papa shape. That's the big shape that everything kind of like, okay, that's the big shape. And then we look for the middle-sized shapes, which should probably be here, and then the detail. There's the nose. We got the lips in here. I can see that the lips, let's use this pen. The lips kind of are kind of like, ooh, almost straight and kind of like this triangle shape, kind of like that. I call it, ooh, it looks like a shark fin. Now I can go in here with my marker. And I know there's a lot of little nuances. There's a little bit of like a ball at the lip, a little ball tip right there. And then the bottom comes up and around, kind of like that. Let's zoom in. Let's zoom in. There you go. So you can see I put a little bit of a ball. If you're just copying my picture, that's okay. My proportions are wrong. I think could have been a little bit lower. That's okay. It's just the idea. Again, depends on how accurate you want to be. We're going to try to be a little more accurate with our later drawings. And this is just a cartoon. And this one was, who put this one up? It was Constanza. Yeah, Constanza submitted this picture for tonight. There's a crazy shadow under these noses. And they just kind of like, ooh, kind of like that. They're little exaggerated shadow noses like that underneath. Not my cup of tea. I'll probably add a little more hair. So I'm going to widen this up a little bit over here. I'm going to make it a little wider. There we go. And I'd probably color that in. That looks pretty good. Let's keep going. All right, here goes around there. Then she's got small little arms, and the hand. I just look at. I can see how I did this really quick. There's a circle place for where the hands are going. Then I can see the arms kind of coming down here. I can, if I'm unsure, I can go in here a little light. I'm using a pen, but it's still not as dark as my marker. I can see where one hand goes there, another hand goes here. And right about there, there's a little bit of a curve just coming down and a triangle on this angle here. All right, and then the hands are just like looks like the letter E, kind of facing up, or a W, actually more of a W because it's facing that way, like that. See that W there? Probably widened it up a little bit more than it is. Yeah, these cartoons are very stylized, very stylized. So you can create them in your own style. It doesn't have to be, they're not very realistic. So you have some leeway for accuracy, unless somebody's looking at this and saying, hey, wait a minute, that doesn't look like so and so, or this and that, if they're really familiar. But that's okay. Nobody's gonna say that. It's my sketch. It's my sketch. This is just my sketch. Yeah. Learn to fight that criticism. Yeah, and sometimes it's our own criticism. Sometimes we criticize, oh, it doesn't look like it. We're hard on ourselves. You gotta be you gotta find what's space for mercy. Oh, it's in my notes. Ah, where's my notes? I don't have my notes. Oh, you know where it is? I know where my notes are. No, not gonna get them. But that's it. Space for starting over. You can start over on another sheet of paper. That's what's great about drawing. It's okay to make mistakes. That's what learning is. Learning is making mistakes and just like, okay, just let it go. The next one. It's about the practice. It's about the progress. It's about hanging in there. The dress has these little circle designs. I'm just throwing in there right now, but I'm getting off on my preaching my P's, which is practice, patience, persistence. There we go. And process, the process. The process is more important. It's not about perfection. That's the P we don't look for. We kind of shoot for it, but there really isn't perfection. It's not going to be perfect all the time. So what's more important is the process, the how. Seeing the big shapes, practicing the big shapes, and not getting caught up. And enjoying the journey, enjoying the process. Because then, yep, you'll get there. You'll get there eventually. There it is, the body. There we go. I kind of like that. The other hand kind of comes back on this other side. Kind of not really descript. It's kind of like, she's kind of like, yay. Saying yes. Now she's got some boots. So that's the top of her. She's got some boots down here. Really interesting. So start off with that boot actually. It's almost a square. It's more of a rectangle, a tall rectangle, but almost a square. But you can see I can start off with that square, that shape, and then bring it down a little bit. And then up for that heel. There we go. That boot. Boots are made for walking. Once you have that first one, you can attach a leg to it. Probably made it a little too big. That's okay. My proportions aren't perfect. See, you just got to let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Do the best you can. We'll shoot for more accuracy on the other ones. It takes longer. It takes longer. Sometimes, you know, you want to, sometimes you're doing it fast, so you don't worry too much. Sometimes you want to worry a lot and get it a lot more accurate. All right, here, let's do him. Let's start from the top to the bottom, just like we did her. Top to bottom, we're gonna do him. We kind of see how he's gonna fit in here. We got a square for his face, how it all fits in that space. And he's just wider. I already got that flowing two shapes that go in there. So let's go ahead and do this. He looks, I don't know what he's saying. I just wonder. I'm gonna start off with the eye because there's definitely some overlapping. And he's like, oh, great. Did you bring the, oh, he probably forgot something. That's what always happens. You send the husband to go get the groceries and he forgets something. And he's like, oh, I don't know, he's got that look. You can feel free to make up your own story. I mean, there's like a speech bubble above him. What is he saying? That's great just to think about. He's got these eyes that are like, oh, he's looking, she's all happy. And he's got those eyes that are down like that. Even his, yeah, his face doesn't look really happy. He's like, oh. All right, the nose is just going to go out just a little bit, just slightly. comes down, back. There it is. The top lip is a little further out than in, so it goes out, then in, down, up, and back. There it is, right in there like that. He's got a little 5 o'clock shadow, probably working all day. Who knows? See, I'm adding story to this. All right, let's close this up. He's got a little
I
bit.
send you the cartoon with the writing.
Oh, with
So
the
you're
writing?
gonna-
Where's the
yeah,
writing?
I send you a picture. Yes, with the conversation between both of them.
Oh, she's happy he went and
Well,
Mark.
it says, ¿trajiste un vinito para despedir el año?
Oh,
He
okay.
says, no, 6 para olvidarlo.
Oh, it's in Spanish. Where did you send it?
To your meetup.
Oh, to
It's
the
gonna be
meetup.
the last. Yeah, it's gonna be the
Okay.
last picture.
All right, we'll look at it right now in a second.
Yes.
He went to the market and emptied the dishwasher. Oh, and he carried the he carried the big heavy drinks. There. I'll read it right now and I'll translate it. We'll see what it says. Okay, so I'm just putting a little bit of hair right there on him. And then let's see how he flows out. You see the actual picture. There we go. I think we lost. That's all good. There we go. Let's go. All right, here we go. So it's curving forward. Let's get that hand in there. We're gonna get that hand in there because that hand goes in there. And let's get it to fit in here first. All right, so we've got this hand. Hand is right in here. It's got a holding onto those groceries, then holding onto those groceries there. This is really like almost like a number 8 there. Then we've got the bag of groceries kind of like up against his chest, right in there, kind of like that. Then we got the arms coming up off of that. Arm probably could have been a little bit lower. Let me check my shapes here. Oh no, that's a good spot. That's good. I'm checking this angle here. There's 2 angles. This angle here, and then that angle there. And there it is. And then you've got there. And then the feet. And then we're done with this. Our next drawing for I think we're gonna do the frog next. Let's do that frog. I really like that frog. I don't know. Unless something else jumps out at me. I really feeling that frog. Frog is a little more realistic. We are starting simple, going a little more challenging. Somebody said they were going to join us at 8. They texted us, texted me. Here we go. Not texted, messaged me through Meetup. All right, let's see. Let's finish this here. Let's get this arm in here because it's on top. And it's got a shirt, so it's got that shirt right there. It's probably a little bit longer. I'm losing some of the accuracy, but that's okay. Go up and around. We're going to try to make the next one more accurate. 1, 2, 3. Practice drawing hands. Yeah, practice, practice, practice. There we go. There we go. Happy New Year. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, see, all the sketching, all this stuff is underneath, and would have probably done it lighter, well, and with a pencil. And then on top, you just ink it all up, especially with cartoons like this. This is how they're kind of made with nice, clean shapes, but you don't see what's underneath the work that goes into it. I'm going to make these a little bit longer. See, I can make those adjustments. And that'll be the inside part. You got the laces. This top shoe is actually a little further out. See, I can make those adjustments. Uh-oh. Something's going on. There we go. And the shadows are just quick hatch. Just a little hatching back in here. That only goes up to there. Yeah, there we go. And the arm has a hatch too. Little hatch marks, kind of like a shadow. That's what they're doing. There we go. Oh, we got the other hand, and It's also kind of like a three fingers here. Well, not that way. 1, 2, 3. And then we've got the bag. And then now we've got, because I'm curious, what does he say? Something about the new year. Let's go take a look. Let's go take a look. Here we go. See how my translation skills work. Yeah, he's kind of like she's happy, and he's like, oh my, lions and tigers. So let's share my screen. And there we go. Oh, let's really quickly look at see what it looks like. Oh yeah, there it is. I was going to show what my drawing looks like before I go off. All right, let's see what he says. Let's refresh this. Let's see if it's there. Oh, that bird. Oh, I really like that bird. And I like the frog. People do the bird, then the frog. Oh, some new pictures. These are too late. Sorry. Oh, these are good. We can probably sketch them really quickly. Yeah, they can be good quick sketches. See, it really just depends on how much time. It's probably a little hard to see. Oh, there it is. Trajiste un vinito para despedir el año. Did you bring some wine to say goodbye to the year? No seis para olvidarlo. Oh, gosh, that's kind of like I don't know what that Spanish is. So, no seis para olvidarlo.
No 6 to forget it.
No 6?
6 vinitos.
Trajiste un, oh.
Number 6.
I get it. Did you bring okay, I get it. Trajiste un vinito para despedir. Did you bring some wine? No, I brought 6 to forget the year. I get it. That's funny. So she's saying, did you bring some wine to say goodbye to the old year? And he goes, no, I brought 6 to forget the old year. Okay, that's cool. And then some people added more images. All right, so let's do the bird. The bird is the word. The bird, really nice color, really a lot of detail, but we got to just break it down. If we spend a lot of time on this one, you could spend a lot of time with this. It really just depends. I'm just going to do a quick sketch. I'm really intrigued by the frog, actually. I really like the frog. This one has just simple shapes. Oh, look at that circle in there. You can see this big circle right in there, the big sur, especially right in here. And it does actually almost has like 2 parts to it. There's that circle, and then you have the wing. Paste. Let's see, the circle's a little bit smaller. No, it doesn't keep it. But let's get these lines in here. All right. Yeah, depending on what level you're at, you gotta practice at your level. See this triangle shape here. This triangle shape here does curve out more, but that should help. And you can see this also kind of coming out as a triangle here. The beak, and then let's get that oval shape for the head. The head. There's a angle to it. There's an angle to it. There's this angle to it. Let's see. I'm gonna just put one quick angle line. It's kind of like the axis line would be kind of like right in there if I were to try to see the axis of that shape of that head. All right, let's copy paste that. Let's get that cranking. We're gonna do this one really quick. I really want to get to that. Really want to get to that frog. Really want to get to that frog. I don't know if we stopped. No, we didn't. Let's see. All right. Oh. Let's see. Chat. There we go. Chat GPT. Oh. There we go. Let's see. All right. There it is. All right. Captured it. Sent it. All right, let's do this. All right, so we've got let's get a fresh sheet of paper. See, that's you can always start over. So if you didn't like the last one, it's always about the next one. It's always about the next one. It's about the practice. It's about the patience. It's about drawing with purpose too. Our purpose is to learn here. And we've got some circles we're looking at. So we're gonna start off with our circle. Get that circle in there. What are we gonna use? Let's use a pen. I don't know. We started using a pen again. Nice and dark is what I like about it. It's okay to make mistakes. There we go. We got our circle. Starting off with our circle. We got another circle for the head, kind of like right above it. Notice this is once you have that second circle, we're getting proportions, right? How big is this circle compared to this? I would probably say it's about half the size of this, our first circle. And there's a little bit of overlapping, and it's like at that angle there. Let's see. Yeah, it's that angle. I'm gonna draw really dark on top of this. Then we've got another circle right inside it. Let's see if I break that in half. It's kind of like right in there. That's where the eye, how big the eye is going to be in there. And then it comes out. This is more of an oval shape. So, but that circle really helps see how that oval shape is on there with that axis line going this way with that beak. I can see how it kind of like, and you want to sketch this lightly. You want to do this lightly. Build it up lightly. I'm going dark with my pen. I'm going to go probably darker with something on top, or maybe just the same pen. But I can see how this almost like it looks like a shark fin back here, but as one more shape there. All right. Then we got another shape here. This comes out this way for the wing. Kind of straight here and straight there. This angle. So I'm watching these two angles and how far it comes out. So there's three things I'm looking at. I'm looking at this angle, and this point here, and how far it comes out. Almost, actually, this point is probably more important, because then I can see how that ice cream cone kind of shapes there. And this is an angle. It does come down. It's not straight across. There we go. How far out does that beak go? Probably about that far. That and those proportions look pretty good. Those proportions look pretty good. The legs right in there. I see this as a big shape. And then the trunk, which just kind of comes down in this space. That's not that important, but yeah, it's like right in there. All right, so yeah, it's blocked in. That's it. It's blocked in right there. This head is about half the size. Let's measure it a little more accurately. Let's get a piece of paper here. Measure that. That's half. Well, actually, I'm saying it's half, but it's about half. Yeah, I can say it's half. Look at that. It's eyeballing it. And you just get that with experience. All right, so there's a lot of detail here. There's a lot of detail. I'm going to start with the eye, and then I'm going to just go out, because once we have the eye, that's the main focal point for this bird. We've got that circle. I've got that circle, and there's got some reflections in it. The reflections are in the top right. So I'm going to go ahead and shade everything except for the top right, leaving the top right alone. But this is pretty much of a circle. You can see the circle that's here, that sketch, and then here, this eye, going dark with it in there, and leaving that highlight in there, leaving that highlight. There it is, and it looks like it's shiny. And then it's got like a white part of the eye, but it's probably the design of the bird. It has a little bit of design on the right side of that circle. And then everything else is just shaded. We've got this other shape that goes out to the front. It's kind of like a windshield wiper, not windshield period. Don't have to say wiper. It's kind of like a windshield shape. It's got that rounded shape there, and then it's this windshield kind of rounded. Let's break that down. So the front is kind of like this, and then the top is kind of like, actually, it's probably more like that. And then the bottom part is more like that. Yeah. Actually, I think I have it more. Yeah. Let's see if I can change it. Yeah, I did put it a little more curving downwards. It does curve a little more that way. Well, it doesn't really matter. all about the same. What's happening is it's that shape that's there. And you've got all this feather, and I'm adding a little bit of texture. There's a thickness that goes here, and that thickness right in there, right to that eye. Notice how thick that is. That is right in there. Right there. And then it bumps out a little bit. It does bump out from that little shield. Bumps out as it comes around that. Now all this is shaded. All this has feathers or shading. And I kind of like the way it kind of looks with this same pen. I can shade all that out. And that leaves that light. All right, so the beak from here straight out, that good angle. I got that angle. That angle looks good. And if we see how big, ooh, it's a little bit smaller than this whole size of this head here. The beak comes out. Well, if you measure it from here to here, that's about how big it is. Trying to see that measurement. Or find the middle. Actually, that would probably be good. Yeah, the middle. It's probably where the eye is. A little bit on the inside of the eye. Because that gives me how a good thing to look for as far as the length of this beak. All right, so we've got the top part of the beak. It's like this triangle. It kind of comes out like that from there to there. And then it's shaded dark at the tip. And as it comes up, it lightens up. It lightens up in between. See, so I'm having it lighten up as it comes in between. There we go. There's a lot of little nuance in this drawing. It's going to probably be a little bit difficult to get. You're a beginner, but it's okay. Just hang in there. All right, I'm trying to capture these nuances. Then the bottom of the beak widens up and comes in, and then up. See, there's two angles. It comes in, and then up, and then there's more design in here. Part of that black design that kind of comes around. There's that thickness. Then it's attached right in there. This comes up in here, up and around. Try to see how it comes up and around. See, this is kind of like a whole set of feathers in here. These are dark, and I'm kind of adding a texture to it, this thickness in here. I'm not putting a solid line. It's like a fuzzy line. It's a fuzzy line. I'm kind of like scribbling it in. There's that. I'm pretty happy with that head. This top part does bump a little bit right there, and then just kind of goes back like he's got a nice little comb, hair comb back. And all that would be shaded. Let me see. Yeah, all this is shaded. That same kind of shade. All this whole, and that's going to make this little white part of the eye kind of pop out a little bit more too. It should kind of be going in that same direction. Then there's a design back here. So let me capture that design. There's a little bit of a circle here as well. And there's a thickness to it. See, I'm softening it up. It's almost like this letter C, or this curve, or even looks like the Nike swoosh because it goes thin to thick. Then it comes back over. Curves, and then a little bit of a bump right in here. There's a little bit of a bump right in there. And all this is shaded that same. Let me go in here. I'm going to turn my paper a little bit, but shade all this. Putting a little bit of shade gets rid of my guidelines. There it is. It's a little bit darker right here, a little more contrast. Yeah, even if it's a pen, I see I'm getting different values, different lights and darks. That's it. And zoom out so you can see what it looking like. Look at that. It's all the little detail, being able to observe it, but I kind of see those shapes kind of help me get it started, getting it going. All right, let's get the rest of this. Let's get the designs on here. It's almost going to be 8. Got another hour here. Whoa. All right. All right, here we go. right, here we go. All right, let's get this wing. This wing has a lot of detail in it. I don't know if we're going to be able to capture it all because it is a copy of a copy. It's not like a real, and it's not really clear. The shapes that we're going to get tonight, the forms, that still life has really, it's really clear. That one's really clear. So I'm just gonna kind of try to fake this. I do have this design here that comes down, comes in, then out, then in, and then out. There's like, I see this like curvy shape in there. It's a complex shape. But there we go. That's part of the, I guess that marking. And then here's part of the wing. This part of the wing kind of comes down up in here, fits in this space. And this shape in here. You know, there's all kinds of designs in here. I'm not going to worry too much about it. There's a lot of detail, a lot of detail. Let's just get that in there. Yeah, this whole shape and flow of that body. This is that light yellow in here. Oh, that's kind of like that light yellow. And then this is a little bit darker, so I can look at those mad sketching skills. Yeah, that's practice. This is right there. You just seen how I shaded that really quick. That only comes with practice. See, I can shade this again here. I'm shading with a pen. Look at that. That's just practice. You can gain that skill. See, just by doing this. So even if your drawings are not accurate, that's okay. You can practice your sketching, this shading. It's hatching. It's called hatching. Now it's cross hatching because I'm crossing it in a different direction. Cross hatching, making it a little bit darker, but this is light. I'm kind of like hatching that. The bird is hatching out of an egg. All right, there's a whole row of like, there's 2 rows of feathers, and I can see them as big shapes and little shapes. So it's being able to see the parts in whole. So there's like a whole row of them, and then there's a whole another row. These 2 rows. See, I can see these big shapes, and then it's just inside that. And then here we've got, yeah. So let's start from the bottom up. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Let's start from the bottom up. Do that wing. We're going to work on the wing, and then everything else should be pretty quickly done. Look at that bird. All right, let's do this wing. This little chicken wing. I can see how it's broken up here. It doesn't just come to a point. There's another, like a secondary set of wings that kind of come out right in here in this area. And they're all coming out at this angle. Let me see. Yeah, this whole set right here out at this angle. See that? I got that one. And then they just kind of come out. Watch your spacing. I'm just kind of like getting that texture, that feel of that set of wings right in there. Fill that in. And then fill it in the next set of wings. And that actually goes back as well. I'm going to make it go back. Let's fill in that space. Fill in this space as well. Really try to get that edge a little bit darker by shading it. Put a little bit of shade on it, just so there's a difference like right at that edge. Here we go. These ones look like they're, I don't know, they're all over the place. So it's kind of hard to do from secondary reference material. It's good to go to the source, primary source. Sam just did these ovals there. Mine are more regular. Those the ovals that are there are actually curving up and down, going different directions. You can do that, look at them, but I just filled it in. I'm just getting the feel of it. Yeah, I'm making it more mechanical. And then all this in here is shaded. Let me see. Oh yeah. All this, because there is a little bit of a white light spot, a little bit of that yellow, and then white. And then all this top part of the wing has texture and color to it. So I'm just going to shade it in and try to get a little bit of that texture, a little bit of that feel for this colored part. I'm just hatching, darkening it up. Ballpoint pen. This is a Bic round stick. M for medium, I guess. Yeah, ballpoint pens are pretty standard. And then there's all these little circle shapes I can try to get. I can do circleism, just a little bit bigger, almost like little swirls. So I'm just making these bigger swirls in here just to kind of get that texture. Right up on top. There it is. Not too shabby. I think there's some spots. I see a little bit of spots. And let's see, I can probably put a little bit, make it a little more rounded by adding a little more shadow underneath, pushing the shadow spaces a little bit, making it rounder. And then there's the tail. All this area is actually dark as well. That back tail. And it's really soft. The feathers are really soft, so I'm trying to keep it soft. Even these areas kind of soft. And here, let's do these talons. There's one foot coming down like this. Notice it tapers. It's a little bit wider at the top, and then it comes down a little bit thinner. Then it comes back, the back talon, it comes down at that angle. And if you just kind of like, just implying them, you can imply them. We got that outside line. Now we get another taper as it comes back. Right in there. And there's that other leg. And then it opens up like a triangle onto the piece of wood that it's standing on. And it kind of blends into it. All this is secondary. I mean, you don't, if it's blends into it, that's fine. See, I can actually even leave it open, making it suggested like somebody shared their drawing tonight. They had like some spaces of birds and their drawing. Won't mention names, Anna. But they left those open. You don't have to always draw everything solid. You know, like here, there's a lot of open space, a lot of blending in. You don't know where something kind of starts or ends. Just because all this is secondary. What's primary is that. That's primary. And then everything else is just secondary, kind of like supports the point you're trying to make. What's your point? What's your point? What's your point? That was a fighting strategy as a kid. So what are you trying to say? Then you explain yourself and then they say, so what are you trying to say? I like, that was so funny. Elementary school, remember that happening. Flashback. All right, we're done with the bird. I think so. Take an overall look at it, see what it looks like, add a little finishing touches. This rump or stick that it's on is really flat. They really shaded it flat. I would probably, it's okay, it's not a big deal. But you can probably go a little bit darker on one side just to give it a little more form. A little more cross hatching, just slight. Not a lot. And it's not really round. Even the shading is not rounded. You can actually add some cross contour lines because we are looking down to it, so it would probably curve a little bit more like that. This looks a little more solid than their picture does. Just from what I did. I even left a little bit of reflected light in there. A little darker shadow. I don't know, it has all kinds of textures. All right, that's it. There's our bird. Bird is the word. All right, let's stop.